Hey, how's it going, people? It is Eddie, and I am back for some more NPL action. And today I've got the second match of the top 16 bracket versus Baby Eric and I forget the name of his team. But his Baby Eric, and I met him here at NPL. I met a lot of people here. I've known some of them though, but yeah, I met him here. He's a cool guy. He knows one of my friends in Brett, and so he has a team that is very scary. I won't lie to you. When I was prepping for this team, it was very difficult. Like I would say that we could both agree that each of our mons, the matchups on either side could sway very, very strongly on one side. And I know a lot of people say that, but for this specific matchup, I mean, if his mons, like if he was able to predict right on some turns, like he would just overwhelm me with so much pressure, especially with Cartana plus Sheer Force Lando. He also brought Hitmonlee, which was interesting. I didn't really expect to see that mon, but he has Mega Aerodactyl. He has Tapu Bulu, Heatran, Cartana, and Landorus. I look at it and I'm like, okay, well, Landorus and Cartana are mainly going to be his, breakers, and then we're going to have probably Bulu and Heatran be a little bit more on the defensive side. Arrow being maybe like can just revenge some things. Might have Pursuit, possibly. And then maybe like Hitmonlee is just like some kind of choice band set. Maybe this is what I was thinking. I didn't really understand why he brought maybe like a Rapid Spinner, like a Salt Vest kind of set. I'm not sure to get rid of my Kyurem. I don't know. So I was just kind of confused on that specific set. So I looked at his matchup though, and obviously I'm going to tell you my sets now. So I have Scarf Rotom. I have two Scarfs. I have Scarf Rotom and I have Scarf Kyurem. Then I have regular Lock with HJK, Drain Punch, Fake Out, and Return. Then I have fully physically defensive Togekiss with the Berry for the Cartana, and to check / counter depending on what kind of he's actually not Z-Bulu, so he can't run Z-Rockium, which means based on my set, I definitely wall that thing. And then I have mostly especially defensive Suicune with a little bit in defense, like maybe like 20 EVs when I have max HP, and then that's more of a kind of a mixed Hippo with rocks. So I looked at the matchup and I was like, you know what? If I lead Rotom, he can't really do much because I can Volt Switch versus 5 mons and I can HP Ice the Lando. So I'm like, alright, I'm gonna lead with Rotom Heat. So he ends up leading off with, actually no, I didn't lead off with Rotom Heat. I'm so stupid. Okay, my bad. It's been like 3 days. Alright, I led off with Kyurem and I was thinking that Ice Beam literally hits everything and Earth Power does as well. It hits the Heat Drain. So he's very weak to that. So I was like, you know, I'm just gonna lead off with it. Maybe he'll think with this arrow that he's faster, he'll try to Stone Edge me and I'll just kill him. So I didn't really think to make a first turn play. So I'm just gonna Ice Beam, not that bad of a play. He's gonna go Heat Train. I'm like, okay, that's fine. And I'm gonna go at my Hippo because I want to set up rocks here. So he's gonna set up his own rocks. I'm gonna go right for my rocks, and he's gonna bring in his Tapu Bulu here. I'm Rindo Berry, so I want to stand in Toxic here. But unfortunately for me, he crits me, which is very unfortunate because I could have recovered on the Hitmonlee. I could have recovered on the Aerodactyl. So that's just kind of unfortunate that he crit me there, but you know it happens. So he's gonna Toxic me there. And I'm going to switch directly out into Togekiss here because this thing's going to resist the Wood Hammer. I think he's going to Hornlet here, so it's going to do a decent amount of damage, but that's fine. And I just, right here, I want to roost this off because this Bulu is a threat, so I'm going to go and roost this off. And then I go right out into to Suicune here, and I think he's going to Toxic me. Yeah, he's going to Toxic me here because he wants to whittle down my Togekiss. My Togekiss does have Heal Bell, though, so that might come in play. So, Grass Drain is going to heal me up. I'm just going to take 6%, and I'm just going to fire off an Ice Beam because it's pretty obvious that the Bulu was going to come in there. I mean, he wasn't going to stay in. I could have set up Calm Minds all over him. Now here, I'm just going to go right back out into my Togekiss. He hasn't tried to predict with Stone Edge or anything, so I'm just going to keep on clicking and going into Togekiss and not wanting him to, take advantage of my Suicune. So, I'm just going to roost off again. I want this thing healthy for the Bulu and for the Cartana. So I'm going to make a bit of a misplay on this turn. I'm going to Aura Sphere here, maybe predicting. I honestly predicted a Cartana double here, just because of how I had been playing with the Suicune, etc. I'd expect maybe, or just like, it's still Aura Sphere was going to hit this Heatran. I was like, you know what, I don't really think he'd use a Steel move here. I think he'd try and Toxic again. So I was like, you know what, I'll just Aura Sphere, but he ends up Flash Canning me and killed my Berry, which is very, very problematic for me. So I'm going to go ahead and switch on to Suicune here now. And he's going to Toxic, and I'm obviously going to go into Suicune because I don't want this thing to be, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I don't want this thing to be toxic, but it already is toxic. So I'm going to predict the blue again here because, I mean, it doesn't really have another switch in. So the blue's going to go down there, thankfully, to the Ice Beam. It just, when the Heatran was in, I just didn't really see him. There was no reason for him staying in. And he didn't have a switch into a Scald, like, at all. So, he risked the burn on Hitmonlee. Yes, he would have lived with Hitmon. He would have lived with Kartana, Landorus, and Hitmonlee. Would have lived with, I mean, he probably wouldn't have lived with Aerodactyl, but he risked a burn on 2 of those mons. He also could be physical. Landos, he doesn't want to risk also like 60% of damage coming on plus a burn. That's just too risky. So I definitely assumed that he was going to go into blue there. So I'm going to Ice Beam, and I'm going to go ahead and get, I think that was like a mid roll in their 39 because I got a low roll on the 37. So I'm going to take the Tapu Bulu down, and here he's going to bring in the Kartana, and this thing's Grassy Terrain boosted, which is very scary. So right here I'm going to take the opportunity to sack my Hippowdon. And it's just going to go down to Leaf Blade, and he's going to get the +1. And now I'm going to go right out into my Scarf Kyurem. Me bringing this in, obviously, reveals that I am Scarf. He also won't kill me here with a Grassy Terrain +1 Leaf Blade if he is Scarf himself. So here I was like, you know what, Earth Power does like 99.7, and there's a very high chance that he'll just go into Heatran. He's been playing. I'm not like discrediting him at all, just the way that we've been playing this game. We've both been playing, very obvious. So I'm assuming that he's going to go into Heatran here. So I'm going to Earth Power here because it killed the Kartana, and it also, there was no reason for him to ever go into Aerodactyl or Landorus there. So he had really 2 plays, and I'm going to end up getting him there. Not really getting him. I mean, it was my best play, and I mean, so the Heatran's going to fall to an Earth Power, and I get some Grassy Terrain. He's going to go into Brettabyss, and I'm going to go right up into Suicune as he's going to Stone Edge me, and this is where my not a lot of defensive ease is going to kind of hurt me, because this is going to do 40, and then I'm obviously going to recover up a little bit with the Grassy Terrain, and then the Toxic's going to wear me down. And this was pretty much one of the game-defining plays, definitely on his side. It did kind of suck a lot, as I did have like a lower chance to live this, like maybe like 30%, but he is going to end up missing an Stone Edge here, which sucks a lot for him. It's a part of the game, but it definitely sucks so much. So that's going to allow me to just get my Suicune back to full health. He's going to go right into his Kartana. I'm not going to play any games here. I'm not Sleep Talk. I'm just Heal Bell on Togekiss. So I'm going to switch out into my Scarf Rotom because I could have taken a... he wasn't +1 at that point, and he had no Grassy Terrain, so his Leaf Blade was not going to be doing as much. So I'm going to go right out to my Rotom, and he SDs here, so I'm like, okay, this probably means that he's going to stay in. So I'm just going to Overheat here, and he did not expect me to be Scarf, and he's going to drop to a Overheat, which is perfect for me. He's going to go right out back out into his Aerodactyl, knowing that I'm Scarf again, and I'm going to go right into Togekiss, sacking that thing. He ends up going to get a Roost on me, which is a great play. So if I was to predict that and go Kyurem, I'd have been in a great position, but obviously I have not. I have not, I didn't do that. So I was just like, my safest play here is definitely just to sack off Togekiss, because the Suicune is more valuable to the Hitmonlee. So I'm going to go ahead and let it die here. Thankfully, he hits his Stone Edge. If he hadn't, I would have just clicked Heal Bell and then healed my Suicune up. But nevertheless, I'm going to go right into Kyurem here, and he has absolutely no switch-ins to an Ice Beam, so I'm going to just kill this arrow here, 100% knockout, and he's going to go into his Hitmonlee. And now here I could have definitely stayed in and tried to, Ice Beam him to death, but he's going to Poison Jab me here, which was an interesting play, to say the least. I don't know why he Poison Jabbed me, but he did Poison Jab, and I didn't really understand at the point why. So I'm just going to stay in with Suicune. I'm going to fire off a Scald here. He ends up making a play into Landorus. I'm like, okay, I'm Spadef. I can definitely live this Sheer Force Life Orb Earth Power with ease, and I can just knock him out with an Ice Beam. So he's going to Earth Power me. 40% goes down. I'm going to wake up, Ice Beam, and knock out the Landorus. So it's looking really good for me, 4-1. And then he brings out the Hitmonlee. And I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I'm just going to Scald here. I mean, I have no reason not to. I mean, I think at this point I've won the game from my perspective. And that's kind of been, so I didn't know his set. And had I not, he's going to Poison Jab me here. So had I not burned him right here, this is very, very, very unfortunate for him. Had I not burned him here, obviously I would have rested there because I burned him, I'm not going to rest these following turns because I know the game's over, even if he was the set that he was. But if I had not burned him, theoretically, I would have rested on the turns that he was continuously Poison Jabbing me. Therefore, been able to get more opportunities to Scald Burn, which is a 30% chance, which increases my chances to burn him. And he only has one Pokemon left, so you can't switch out and try and afflict the percent chances. So I'm just going to stay in here and I get a turn 1 burn, the first turn burn, which sucks a lot for him because he reveals to be Endure, Poison Jab, Reversal. I don't know what his last move was. And that pretty much, it knocked out the rest of my team had I not gotten any burn at all. He's also leechy. So had I not burned him at all, literally every single one of my monsters, I even had Fake Out Lopunny, but he could endure that had he not been burned and just kill me the next turn because I didn't have Quick Attack. So right there, it just really came down to me getting a burn. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I definitely could have lost this game had it not been for the burn. But, it's a game we play, and I would have had increasing chances to get a 30% chance. So I believe that it was in my favor, but it was so super unfortunate to get that first turn burn for him, which sucked and pretty much cost him the game. But other than that, this was a very fun game, and Double Scarf did work out for me in this game. So yeah, it was a great game to Baby Eric, and I'm thankful that I'm in the top 4 of NPL right now. I'm gonna be playing Shuckle King sometime this weekend, I think. We haven't really scheduled for a time, but I'm thankful to be where I'm at. God is good, and yeah, thank you all for watching, and have a blessed day.